gonna grab one of Mike's chainsaws too, but I assumed you had one.
Go ahead and throw that thing back in.
You don't want to get hung up, Jack. You sure it's gonna be all right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Now this particular mine video, I shot this back in early June with pretty early access into this site, still a little bit of snow on the ground. But this is the LaBellvue mine. This mine, I looked at this mine several years ago, did a video on it. When I got back though, I discovered fairly quickly that I'd missed levels 1, 2, and 3. And I also missed the lower entrance on the backside of the mountain. I was hoping one of these would be open. This is an interesting old mine. The day I went in there, I was on a motorcycle, and I'd already got myself fairly tired exploring some other side roads. And so the road going up to the upper levels, I was like, heck with it. I knew there was something up there, but I was too tired to mess with it mainly. But once I got back and started investigating this a little bit, I decided, boy, maybe I missed a good opportunity to find some open levels up there. So we went back on this trip to try and find some of those. And we're also going to take a quick side trip over to the Cabell City mine. It's an interesting old mine. It's got a lot of history there. People are still up there kind of scavenging stuff. So we did a quick stop there to see how much things have deteriorated in the last couple, 3 years since I was in there the last time. So you'll see that a lot in the video. But as we were starting off on this adventure, should have known early season access, should have had a saw with me, at least an axe or something to chop trees out of the road. I had none of it. Didn't even have a chain with me to drag them out of the road. Now this little Nissan, it has a winch bumper on it. At the time, I did not have a winch on it, but it sure prompted me to get a winch. But because there was a tree across the road, we needed to get past it. All I had was a little, a pick, kind of a arrangement with a slot, kind of a chopping thing on one side, kind of. And we chopped away at this log till we got it out of the way. But we wound up getting a little injury along the way. Poor Trevor, he got a splinter of wood right through his finger on this thing. So we did get past the tree, but it did involve a little blood.
No, Jack. Good luck.
Yeah, you got it. Woo-hoo. There it goes.
One of your
Heck. What the heck? That's pretty cool.
I measured it. It's got as much ground clearance as my side-by-side.
It is. This is a great vehicle. Impressive.
I can't believe it's going to be the longest day already.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like summer got going at all. How old is this Millie thing? 30s? 1930s?
I think parts of it are, and then other parts have been updated since then.
So they were using it all the way up into what? 50s, 60s?
That's what I would guess.
That's a neat mill.
Yeah, A little worse shape than last time I was here. A few more years, this will be gone. You can tell the last time, I mean, this pipe's probably from the 80s or 70s. So somebody was in here, you know, later on, still using this old stuff. Yeah, those outlets are definitely newer. This part's the cool part up in here.
Oh, that is neat. The belt's still on. Oh, that's cool. That's amazing.
You know, obviously a lot of this probably from the 30s or 40s. And the more modern day guys just come in and reused it.
You see the ore chute there? It looks like that rotates underneath. Maybe if you shut it off by turning it. Yeah, that turns. Oh, that's neat.
Look at this old contraption to bring, conveyor to bring little,
Oh, those little buckets on there.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Now, what would they use that for, you think?
I had no idea.
We got a few little buckets like that. I was wondering what they were for. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, man, look at that. I can't believe those glass windows are still in there.
Big pack rat nest. That's quite the ore hopper they come up with.
Yeah.
I think the jaw crusher is gone. Yeah, it would have. It was right here.
Somebody took it, huh?
In fact, that might have been gone last time I was here too.
Well, you notice it looks like tailing pile over here. Yeah. I don't think this lock's doing much good. So this was the the sliding door. Oh, the other two barrel. Oh. It almost looks like a bucket. Held a bucket. Wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Thought maybe it was. I don't know what that is. Oh, that almost looks like an ore cart frame, doesn't it?
Kind of does.
It was a wood cart. Maybe. That's exactly what that is, because there's the lever. And that closed the door here. That's a mine cart.
Neat.
Can we take that?
Somebody, it's kind of a homemade jobber, it looks like. Well, there's the lever that turns that, locks the gate, see?
Yep. That's neat. Okay, that was worth a
That was
trek through the jungle.
Yep.
Okay, where was the actual added at?
What do you see?
There's something right here, but I can't tell what it is.
There's the attic right there. Yep, straight in front of you down that gully. Yep.
This is just a trench.
Minecart frame. Yeah, that's gotta be it, man. Doesn't seem natural.
It's a ditch.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere back that way, about 40, 50 feet, it says there's another attic.
Yeah.
A little higher on the hill. If this was it, it's long gone. How do we get down there to it? Holy smokes. Well, let's see if we can get down this. Right there's where it would have been. Just a big trench. Yeah, that's completely collapsed in. It's the start of another one. Right back in there. It's like another waste rock pile right here. You find a way up this mess, and I'll pick up there. I'd say this one, the size of the waste rock pile, probably went in a couple 100 feet. Yeah, it looks completely closed up in there. If that went in, it's all collapsed in now for quite a ways. Right down in there you can see a hole in some timbers. But up in here, this is all collapsed in.
I wonder if they're tapping in the same vein as the LaBellvue. Could be a bear den, couldn't it?
Yep.
Go down shaft.
This is open.
Is it?
Going down that way.
Really?
Just a little hole. It smells like pack rats. I don't think this upper one was a tunnel.
No?
I think this was just a big trench they dug.
Think so? What would be the reason for the trench? Is trying like hydraulic?
No, that's, a lot of times when the ore was right next to the surface, they would do that. They would just, instead of opening up an adit, they would just dig a trench and get the ore out because they piled all the waste over on that side.
Yeah. That's iron in there, right?
Yep. Seems like somewhere in here there's coat hangers that have some business name on them.
Stove in there. Older stove and a newer one.
Ooh, this is stinky.
That's a
Had indoor plumbing.
No kidding. Toilet and everything.
Yep, here's that coat hanger.
Hey Siri, turn on flashlight.
We're going to stop right here for a minute. This particular portal, on my first trip in, I kind of scratched my head a little bit on what this was. Second trip in was kind of the same thing, but before we went in there this time, I had dug up a little bit of documentation. There's not a lot, but right beside the LaBellvue, just to the south of it, just a little bit, south or east, was this portal. And at first I thought it was part of the LaBellvue, but they're on the same vein system, but the old documentation shows that this was a separate mine altogether. Now there's almost zero written about this old mine. It evidently had a fair amount of workings from the size of the tailing pile, and further down the canyon is remnants of their old mill site, which was separate from the LaBellvue mill site. But this referred to in the old documents as the old Chinese workings, I think. And then another mining company or an individual came in later on these old Chinese workings and then developed this other mine right beside the LaBellvue. I think underground, these may be tied together. You know, at some point, I think they tied them together. But as far as most of the original documentation, these were two completely separate mines from each other. And this other one has very, very little written about it, just almost nothing. It's just like a tiny little footnote in there that this happened to be a different mine. If you go up and look at this today, you would swear this is all part of the same mine because they're so close together, but it's really not. There's two separate mines here. So that little part of the mystery was solved. Looks like there might.
Clear that way.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a little roadbed over there.
Okay.
Sure looks like an old road. Hasn't been used in a long time.
You know that's old. Big tailing.
I think this might be level 1.
Yeah, I noticed that. Well, this was a barrel, wasn't it?
Yep, sure looks like an old barrel. Is there one right below us?
Wow, that's huge. That changed direction. All the damn track. That's a big. You take pictures, video?
Smell the sulfur.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that at the lower levels there.
Big tailing pile.
That's a big one. Wow, look how much this track has deteriorated right here. It's almost gone. See if any of it's open up here. Not that I'd go into it.
If I remember right on the LiDAR, it looks like it has collapsed several places up the hillside. Oh, it's really collapsed.
Once they got in there, they probably hit hard rock.
Yeah, the map showed almost every one of these. The first 100, 200 feet were timbered, and then they hit more solid rock. Down in there is level 1. Come up here. See what's above level 1. Thick timber. Only thing up here. Coming down out of here. Right over there is the collapsed portal. See the waste rock pile down here. Pretty substantial one. Number 2 level. Collapsed all the way. I don't think between level 1 and 2 there's 100 feet difference. maybe 50, if that.
Going straight down, that take us down there?
Level 3 is over that way.
Okay.
Because these two were on the vein, but level 3 and 4 they had to come in at an angle to avoid these other people's
over in there. Should we
claim.
try cutting through there?
I think there might be a little road right through there.
Okay.
That was level 2. Still collapsed. Heading down to level 3. I don't think so.
Oh, this pile is as big as the other, man. Isn't it?
Pretty dang close.
Do you think that's covering for the tunnel, snow shed? Or was that a cabin?
I'm not real sure. Good sized waste rock piles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the same cabin. That's a post.
For what?
I don't know if they ran power up here or had some kind of pole building. I don't know.
All sorts of cans and shit over here.
Yep, this is definitely the garbage dump.
Cans are all worthless, but sometimes you can find a bottle. Your shoe. Couple shoes. Old ones. Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, this would have been neat when it was still had a roof on it. I wonder when the last time this was open, this road was open. '40s maybe? So at this point, we had investigated levels 1, 2, and 3 on the LaBellvue mine. All of those levels wound up being collapsed in, which didn't surprise me much, being that the old map showed the first 100 feet or so being timbered. That meant that we were in pretty loose ground, so it didn't surprise me much that those were all collapsed. But it was worth going and looking at. It's been a long time since anybody's been in there and did any work at those mines, you could tell. But I wanted to go on the back side of the mountain, over on the Baldy Creek side, and see if we could figure out where the lower level was that went in. Now, supposedly this level originally went in and connected clear through the mountain to the other side, the levels we were just at. I think it came out on level 3. And that connected in, went through a short winds, and then out the other side. So I wanted to see if we could find that. Maybe on that steep slope, there's maybe a possibility if it's in solid ground that portal would be open. So that's what we're investigating. We're going to start off on the tailing pile of the upper level on the backside, and we're looking for the lower workings. Now, these days, once you reach the top of the ridge, this is quote unquote wilderness area down in there. There's mines scattered all through that. There's old mines and old roads all through that North Fork of John Day Wilderness area. But technically, we're in the wilderness down here looking for this old mine. See another pile down there somewhere?
I don't see it. It's thick fork. That baby McGee one, man, looked pretty big.
From what I've seen of the LiDAR images and whatnot, yeah, it looked like it's pretty decent sized. It's got to be right down in there somewhere. I'm here. I got to go look.
Might as well. We may not ever come back up this way.
That way you can be sure that this isn't open.
Well, that's the kind of place where you see a cart sitting out.
Yep. This is steep. Looks like there's a little dig in there.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be it.
You think it's just right down there?
Look.
Was it in line with this one?
Pretty much. Is it down there in that cluster of trees? Yep, I think that's it. Those are some awful big trees on top of that tailing pile.
This must have been it right here, huh?
I think up where Jerry's standing, you can see the top edge of the cut. Yeah, supposedly this connected on through.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm looking over there, it kind of looks like a tailing pile.
I don't know. The map shows it right here. All collapsed. Okay, that's about going to wrap it up for this video. We had a good time exploring this old mine, seeing what was left, and it didn't surprise me a lot that none of these portals had been opened. This mine hasn't been worked in a long time, and the old maps show that the first 100 feet or so in these mines were timbered. So that means they were in pretty loose ground, and timbering, especially non-pressure treated timbers like they used to use, they just don't last very long, especially in wet environments like that. So it doesn't surprise me that all these have been collapsed. They might have had a little help along the way in collapsing, but at that age, and as long as it's been since somebody's actually worked this mine, doesn't surprise me. Now, the Cabell City, we explored up on the ridge above the mine, trying to figure out where the ore came from for their mill. We did find, I think, 3 or 4 old adits, fairly short ones, not very big at all. None of them open. That one had a little opening down into it, but I don't think it went in more than maybe 20 feet. So we had a good time exploring that. We found some really interesting ore up on that hillside, though, that I haven't had a time to crush it up yet and check it, but it looks interesting. I wish I would have had an ore sack with me to load it up and carry it down out of there, but we didn't. And the timber's super thick up in there right now. It is so overgrown, and it's getting worse. Every time I go up there, I just can't believe how much it's growing in on the roads up there. So I also want to give a big shout out to Trevor. Now, if you haven't figured it out, Trevor's the guy that's in this video with me, with his wife, Jerry Ann. Trevor is a heck of a musician. He's wrote several songs about that Sumter area, historical mining songs. He wrote the song for our Golden Cornucopia at the end of the movie. There's a song that plays in there. That was one of Trevor's songs. So I want you guys to go. I'm going to put a link in the description below and here on the screen. Go check out his song. I think it's me and names don't stick real well together, but I think the name of the song is 400 Down. It's about a song about the old time mining, especially up in that Sumter area, trying to get 400 feet down, trying to find the vein. Really cool song. I want you guys to go check that out if you can. Give Trevor some support there. He spent a lot of time writing that song. I was supposed to do some parts in it. I ran out of time. I was going to play a little banjo, but my banjo skills are pretty terrible. Every once in a while I can get in the groove of it, but boy, if there's banjo players out there, I commend you guys. Boy, that is a real art form to play the banjo and play it well. I mean, I can make noise with it, and I enjoy picking it up every once in a while. But boy, you guys that can really play a banjo, my hat's off to you guys. So another guy, another local helped Trevor out and did the banjo work on that. So it's a great song, all locally done. So check that thing out. Okay, that's about it. I've got some other things I want to tell you guys about that I've been up to, which why I haven't been making videos here lately. It's ate up a lot of my time, but I think I'm to the point now. I've learned enough of it that I don't have to spend so much time learning it. Huge learning curve. We'll jump into it on its own little video. But the wife and I started something, and we're having a lot of fun with it. And so I'll fill you in on another video about what we're doing. It had a good time, but it has ate up almost all of my free time trying to figure out how to make this go. So that's about it for now. I hope to see you guys on the next video.
Simple things didn't know I miss until they're gone, and you feel like this, and you feel like this. So hold me close, you bring me